Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Blake. I'm doing my article on adversity. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. FDR said that. My topic is on facing adversity in all its forms, whether physical, mental, psychological. It doesn't matter whether it's facing a phobia of turn off the light, or whether it's getting over an abuse, a car crash, losing someone dear in your life, or even dealing with the fact that you failed a test or an exam 3 times and you don't know if you can get past it. A recent study shows that 77% of people deal with stress physically, while 73% say that they deal with it psychologically. That leads them down to bad habits that include drinking themselves to death, or seeing abuse, being involved in abuse, becoming an addict in some way or form, whether it's drugs, medication, whether it's just shopping overly, wasting money, indulging in things that are unhealthy and lead to violence or could lead to death. I've experienced such things as abandonment, self-hatred, domestic violence, near-death experiences. Yet anyone can overcome adversity. It's not impossible. Maybe improbable at some points in time, but never impossible. First thing I want to talk about is you must be able to point out any and all obstacles in your way, because you won't be able to start until you do. And that's the most important point, because, for instance, if you're getting in a car, starting the ignition, but you can't push the juice to make the car go because you're afraid that as soon as you do, you're going to crash into the one in front of you, or you're too afraid to open your actual room door because you're afraid, hey, if I leave my room now, something bad's going to happen. Or it could be more complex, like losing a loved one in your life and just not willing to face it, because you know the moment you face it, it's the moment you're going to break down. You're not going to be able to stand on your own feet. You're going to fall flat. It's hard. For me, I kept running away from my obstacles. And I honestly thought the worst obstacle I had to deal with was dealing with separation, not having family, being alone. But after medical issues that put me in a coma, waking up from it, realized that was not my issue. My issue was never facing the loss of my first child. It took me a while to get over it. There are times where I just didn't get out of bed, wouldn't eat, wouldn't speak. It's hard. It really was. But once you actually see the obstacle in your way, instead of avoiding it or pretending it's not there, you have to actually accept it and get through it. I mean, it's difficult, yes. It's extremely hard. And it feels like there's no way you get past it. But you can. But you have to come up with a plan first. Leading to my second point. Once you come up with a plan, whether that's sitting down or going over in your mind, what plan could I come up with? For me, the only way I can do that is I get up, get dressed, get ready, turn on my coffee maker, sit back down. And then I think, what am I doing today? And that could be anything from, well, my basic plan for the day is usually I go to work from 5:30 to 7:30. Then I head to class from 8 o'clock to 1. Then from there, pick up lunch and head right back to work. I work all the way from 3 all the way till 8 or later. Then I get home, do an assignment or two, and by 11 o'clock, that's my deadline to cut everything off, and I relax, I go to sleep. Anything past 11, everything's off, because if I stay up any later, then I wake up late and my schedule's off. That's coming up with a basic plan. That's a base. Another thing you want to point out is you never want to overcomplicate your plan. Once you come up with a simple, basic plan, if you're planning for stuff you can't control, or you're planning for stuff that you are not absolutely sure you can handle within that one day, within, more specifically, 1 hour, then either you need to shift some things in your schedule so you can fit it, or you need to push it to some other day that you can handle it and deal with it and work it out. But after you come up with a plan, excuse me, once you come up with a plan, then you have to actually go out and conquer it and be confident in that decision. That means after coming up with a plan and you reach for the door and you're like, I don't know, let me rethink no, don't do that. You want to open the door, push yourself right out there. Just keep going. You already made the plan. You've already started walking past the starting line, so you don't want to stop. If you stop, then you're going to rethink everything. You're going to doubt yourself. And if you doubt yourself, then you're going to think of other plans, and then everything's going to fall apart because you either didn't even leave the house and you're completely behind and now you have to redo everything all over again, or you're already doing it, but then you overcompensate for yourself or you overthink for yourself, and then everything gets blown out of proportion and it doesn't work. And that can be hard. I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, when I finally actually got out of the hospital, my plan was to get better, was to get stronger. First, I learned how to walk. Then, I began reading, getting my grammar back, so I could actually speak and talk. And then I got into shape. Before this, I was 290 pounds. And I just worked it all off because I wanted to be better. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be the person that I dreamed that I could be. Which then leads to the fourth point. Once you come up with a plan, once you enact it, you must accept the choice you made and have no regrets. Because if, for instance, you're going back and you're thinking, what could I have done better? Or, man, I wish I could have done this. Or I wish I could have at least done something that would involve everybody to actually enjoy the benefits of my choices. Life doesn't work that way. That's not reality. That's fantasy. Reality is, okay, well, I made this choice. I did this. I did the best I could in the situation I was in. And if they don't like it, oh well. If I couldn't bring this person with me, oh well. If I miss this, shit, oh well. I can adapt, I can improve, and I can do better the next time for the future. But on accepting and owning your decision and your choices, it's hard. mean, the good decisions I've made have led me to having my own shelter, my own place, to being able to handle myself like an adult. The decisions that I used to regret, that I still deal with at points. I mean, for instance, what if I had stayed with her? What if I had been able to protect the one I cared about so that she didn't have to lose that kid? Would I have been there to stop the guy from assaulting her? Things like that. You can't control. You can't change. It's the future. It's not the past. You can't go back in time. If there was a way, I'd probably be making a video on how to use a time machine and change all your problems, but that's not what this video is about. And that leads to my conclusion. First, you want to point out the obstacles in your way. Then afterwards, you want to come up with a plan, then enact it. Then after enacting it, you want to face it and learn from the experience. Never regret any choice, decision, or plan you have enacted to overcome adversity. Personally, as a criminal justice major, it's my dream to be the strongest and the bravest person I can be. And these steps have paved the way for me. Strength isn't just how hard you can hit something or push something. It's mental, emotional, and willful. Yet it's balance and the choice to not take the easy path that not only makes you immovable, but an unstoppable force that others will follow or want to follow. Bravery isn't just running away, it's accepting that weakness that's in you. It's accepting what makes you scared or fearful and owning it and turning it into a strength. And if you're able to do both things, if you're able to achieve both parts, then you are immovable, that you've succeeded. FDR said, "Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own mind. And thus, we must find it within ourselves to release ourselves from our own cages. Only then can we truly be free." Thank you.